Welcome to Formal Fitness, everybody. I'm your host, Jim Dandy. I've got the tubes out again. This time it's legs, and we are going Tabata. So let's jump into it. All right, guys. Just like before, we're going to do a bit of a warm-up before we dive into our Tabata. This is a 6-round Tabata series, but the first 2 rounds focus on the right and the left, so it kind of splits up. Okay, but we're just going to kind of slide to the side. Lift up those legs a little bit. And keep the hands on the hip if you want, or out to the side, or kind of move them in and out, whatever feels good for you. Alright, now we're going to bring those knees up. Opposite side, knee's going to come toward the left knee's going to come toward the right. Twist a little bit in that core if you want. Kind of engage that core a little bit. It's always good to keep the core engaged. Helps with balance and protecting that lower back. Alright, now we're going to kick back. Leg out to the side. Bring those arms with us for balance. I'm going to walk it up and walk it back. Alright, now coming to a mild squat for me. We're just going to pulse it and then come up. Really focus on the quads, pushing out that rear, getting those upper glutes and that lower back involved. Nice lateral squat. Come forward on that left leg. We're going to come down, we're going to do some bicep curls. Switch legs this time. Coming up with the shoulders. Again, we're nice and straight. We're coming down nice and straight. We're not leaning forward. We're not leaning back. Alright. Now we're going to twist this time. Kick those knees up. Bring those knees nice and high. Engage that core a little bit as we twist side to side. Now it's kicks. We're going to work in some punches there, opposite arm. Make sure that knee comes all the way up before you kick that leg out. Really feel it through here, guys. We're going to wake up all those leg muscles before we put them through a rigorous workout. When we get that heart rate nice and high. Alright, now we're going to come to the side. It's a roundhouse kick. Follow with the arms. This leg stays nice and straight for balance. Alright, switch sides. And down. This time we're going to spread our legs out into a bit of a deeper squat. squat here. Go all the way down, nice 2 count. Back up. Hands on the hips if you like, or out in prayer, whatever you're more comfortable with. But I feel good and warmed up. Let's grab our tubes. We'll start with the left side first. We're just going to come into our handle there. And, alright guys, I am warmed up. I've got my tubes now. So we're going to start, bring our leg into that handle there. Now, again, like we did with the arms, the less slack you give yourself with the tubes, the greater stretch you're going to get. So I'm going to stand on the other side of this tube here, just to give myself some retention. This one I'm just holding with my arms, just to keep it from flopping about. We're not really working the arms here. Now we're going to come up first. It's a knee lift, and then we're going to take that knee over and down. So it's up, over and down, up, over and down. And we're on that 2 count. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maintaining that intensity throughout the entire workout. Do not release until you bring that leg back down to the ground. If you have to bring that other arm out for balance, that's fine. Or you can keep it on the hip. Or you can use it to help hold that tube up out of the way. And release. Alright, we're staying on this leg. This is our first set. Our second set will be on the right leg. Okay, now I'm going to step out a little wider here, giving myself a little more stretch on this tube. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. This time we're kicking back. Just nice. And if you have to, you can bring that leg forward a little bit for balance. And we're just kicking straight back. You're going to feel it a little bit in that glute over here too, as you use that leg to keep your balance when you come up into that back kick. And release. Nice. All right. Now we're going to turn that foot sideways so our toes are facing the wall. And we're going to come up. Knee comes up and out. And again, you're balancing on that right leg, so you're feeling it in that glute. Alright, this time, make it a little harder. I'm going to remove some of that tension, so I'm getting a deeper stretch. So we're going to come back up. Again, it's up, out, and down. We're on that 2 count, nice and slow. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We want to get a really good stretch into those thigh muscles, those inner and outer thigh muscles as you come up and out and back down. And again, you're feeling it in that glute as it holds yourself up for balance. And release. All right. Step to the side again, so you can see what we're doing here in this stretch. And again, we're just kicking it back. Make sure you get a good stance for balance here. And you're just kicking it back. Nice 2 count, up for 2, down for 2. You're holding yourself up with that right leg. You're going to start feeling it in the glute. If you want, you can hold on to the wall for balance, or just keep your hand at the hip. Or you can bring this arm out to this side for balance, whatever you're comfortable with. Just make sure you maintain the intensity of that stretch. As you come back down, do not release until that toe hits the floor. And release. Alright, one more and then we're going to switch legs. Alright, this time we are turning that leg sideways. Again. Hand on the hip for balance if you need to, or you can use the wall. And you're just kicking that knee straight up and out. So the knee is heading toward this wall here. You're not bringing it up toward you like this. You're bringing it up and out. Almost like you're kneeing somebody beside you. Almost there, guys. Dig deep. And release. This time, it's the right foot that comes through our handle. Left leg comes down on the tube. And we're going to move into those knee lifts. Up, out, and down. Up, out, and down. Again on that nice 2 count. Maintain that intensity throughout the stretch until those toes hit the floor. Do not release early. And release. Nice. Alright, turn to the side again so you can get a better look at this stretch. Bring that left leg forward just slightly to help with balance and positioning. And we're going to kick it back. You can even lean forward a little bit if you need to. Kind of use that wall to hold yourself up. Or you can keep that hand on the hip. And we're just coming nice. We're coming back nice. A bend in that knee, so we're not going straight back. We're kicking it back. We're bringing that heel up toward the ceiling. Again, nice and slow on that nice 2 count. You should really feel it in that glute. You're going to feel the quad a little bit. And release. Awesome. Back to the front. Again, we're turning that foot sideways. Toes are pointed toward the wall. Hand on the hip for balance. You can bring this arm out too for balance if you need to. And we're just going to kick that knee outward. I'm going to just remove just a little slack on the tube there. And again, that knee, it's not coming up, it's not coming outward. It's pointing toward the wall. If you need to, you can use your arm as a guide. That knee needs to follow that arm. Or one more set, I'm sorry. Alright. Again, that knee is up, over and down. It's a nice round motion, but we're going nice and slow in a 2 count. Maintain the intensity of that workout all the way through.
Everybody gotta take a version of me. Everybody gotta be learning from me. Everybody wanna be working with me. And I feel like there's uncertainty and urgency to find out what you wanna be. But honestly, but you know I'm constantly so stop the reason whatever you wanna be.
Almost there, guys. Keep going, dig deep. And release. Oh, yeah. Really feeling it in that glute now, guys, but we got 2 more exercises. And we're coming to the side again so you can see that stretch better. Left leg comes forward just slightly for balance and positioning. And we're kicking it back. Again, if you need to, lean forward a little bit. Hold on to that wall for balance. Or you can keep your hand on the hip. And this is more about a deep stretch. Don't worry about how high you kick that leg. Just get a good deep stretch with that tube. We're kicking back. We're not going straight back. We're kicking that heel back toward the ceiling. And release. Yes. All right. Again. Turn the foot sideways, toes are pointed toward the wall. If you need to use your arm as a guide, that's fine. I'm going to keep them at the hip. We're just going to kick that knee up and out. And then I'm going to remove just a little more slack for a deeper stretch. And you're really feeling it in that glute because it's holding yourself up. And you're feeling it in that quad a little bit too as you come up and back down. Remember, we're on a 2 count. Nice and slow, maintaining that intensity on the way back down. Not releasing until those toes hit the floor. Alright, release. Oh yeah. It was round 1, that was round 2, round 3. We're going to move to the left again. And again, we bring that toe through the handle there. And we're going to step down onto that tube to give us some tension. Now before we were using the knee and we were getting a knee lift, working those quads and getting into that core. This time we're keeping the legs straight. So we're getting really deep into those back leg muscles, a little bit into that upper calf, and all the way through the glute and the lower back. So we're going to start, move back a little bit so you can see me better. Nice and straight. Just straight up and straight back down. And a nice 2 count. 1, 2, up for 2, down for 2. Again, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's not about how many you can do, it's about how well you can do them. Keeping that nice intensity throughout the entire stretch. And again, you're going to feel it in those other glutes as you hold yourself up. And release. Nice. Alright, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see the stretch a little better. Right leg comes forward slightly for balance and positioning. And we're kicking straight back. This time, instead of bending the knee and raising that heel up, we're keeping the leg nice and straight. We're getting right in this area here. You're going to feel it in the quads a little bit as well from the intensity of that stretched tube. Again, you can keep your hands on the hips if you want, or put that arm out for balance. Even hold it out to the side. Alright, release. Coming forward again. You guessed it, coming out to the side now. I'm going to come down this way just a little bit so we're going to take that leg out. Again, hand on the hip for balance, where you can bring it out toward the wall. And we're just going to go straight up and back down. Nice 2 count. I'm going to remove just a little slack to help with balance. And again, maintain that intensity all the way up and back down. And release. Okay, second set here. So again, we're kicking forward. And if you want to protect those lower back a little bit, you can always come down and kind of arch that back some. But I'm going to stay nice and tall. Again, we don't bend the knee, we're just coming nice and straight up and back down. Nice 2 count, nice and slow. Maintain the intensity throughout that entire stretch. Alright, turn to the side. Again, right leg comes forward just slightly for balance and positioning. And then we're coming straight back. We're not bending that knee this time, it's just nice and straight back. Try and stay nice and tall, don't lean too far into that right leg, you don't want to overextend that muscle. If you need to, you can use the wall to help hold yourself up for balance. And release. Nice, to the front. Alright. Again, leg is nice and straight. We're just coming up to the side and back down. Nice 2 count, nice and slow. You need to use those arms for balance. Try not to lean too far over on this leg. You don't want to overextend those glute muscles. And release. Now. This time the right foot comes through the handle here. Left leg comes down to hold the tube in place. And we're kicking forward. Nice straight leg on a nice 2 count. Just up and down. Nice and slow. Maintain that intensity all the way through the stretch until that heel hits the ground. Do not release.
Let's go. The first with the curse with the burst that I wanna be better.
And release. Awesome. Alright, we'll turn to the side now. So you see what I'm doing here. Left leg's going to come forward just slightly for balance and positioning. And then again, if you need that hand to help with balance to stay up, help yourself stay up, that's fine. Keep mine at the hips. We're kicking straight back. Leg is nice and straight. We're not kicking that heel toward the ceiling like our first 2 sets. I'm cold inside. Give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want. The whole and release. Nice. Alright. Come forward. Alright, this time, just like the other side, we're kicking it out to the side. Nice 2 count. Don't overextend yourself, but do try and come as high as you can. Make sure you maintain the intensity of that stretch until the foot comes back down to the floor. And if you want, you can step further down on that band to give yourself a little more retention. Alright guys, catch your breath, we have one more set. We're kicking it forward again. Just nice 2 counts. Try and get as high as you can, but don't overextend that muscle. Make sure you got a good restraint there on the tubes, so you're getting a good deep stretch. And again, we're just nice and slow on that 2 count. Not releasing until that heel hits the floor. Nice. All right, take it to the side. Again, left leg comes forward slightly for balance and positioning. And we're kicking it back. Nice straight leg. If you want to lean forward a little bit, use that hand to hold yourself up against the wall, that's fine. And keeping in mind at the hips. Just a slight lean forward to help with that lower back. And we're just kicking straight back. Nice straight leg, nice 2 count, nice and slow. Nice and intense until those toes hit the floor. And release. Nice. Alright, coming forward once more. We are kicking that leg out to the side once again. Nice and slow, nice 2 counts, up and back down. Maintain that intensity throughout the stretch. Do not release until that foot hits the floor. Make sure you're breathing deep, getting good airflow into those muscle groups. I'm really feeling it here. This needs a lot of air, so nice deep breaths. The legs are going to be screaming at the end of this. So it's good that we stretch out at the end, and then we get those breaths in, and stay hydrated. And release. Nice. Alright. That was round 3 and 4. Round 5, we're going to move into some squat territory. Both feet come down this time on the tubes. Arms come out to the side just to kind of hold the tubes in place. And we're going to walk it out on a 2 count. You can bring those arms with you just to kind of help keep the tube steady, but we're not really focused on working those arms. We're really focused on those glutes and those quads. And you're kind of pushing that booty out toward the back of the room as you come down. We're engaging that lower back as well. And release. Nice. All right, this time we're coming forward. Leg is nice and straight. And we're just going to take it up and then back. And again, the arms, that's just to kind of hold the tubes in place. But make sure you're dipping into that glute as you come forward. Just a slight bend in the knee, but try and keep those legs as straight as you can. And release. Nice. Forward a little bit. Hold myself up with some tension in the tubes there. And I'm actually going to turn to the side here so you can see what I'm doing better. And we're just stepping it out. Legs are nice and straight. And we're going to bend the opposite knee as we come back. We're dipping down into that glute and that upper back. Again, one leg is straight, opposite leg bends as we come back. And release. Okay, so we're going to go back into that squat travel. Nice wide stance. And again, it's just a 2 count. And you're maintaining the intensity of that tube. That's what's giving you that deep pull on those muscle groups. And again, like I mentioned in the arm video, if you don't have the tubes, you can do this entire set without the tubes. You just deepen the stretches a little bit. You can get a calisthenic workout with it still. You'll still get a good deep workout into those muscle groups. The tubes just kind of help add a little weight without actually having weight. And release. Nice. All right. Again, we're bringing it forward. Slight bend in the knee. Other leg stays straight as we come forward. You're kind of twisting, so you get a little bit of a oblique stretch. And you're getting into those glutes real deep, even up into that lower back some. And release. Nice. All right. Turning to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. Similar exercise to the front, this time we're coming back. So you come back leg stays straight, front leg, slight bend. As you dip down into those glutes. And you're not going straight back, you're kind of coming out to the side slightly. So it's like out to the side and back. But you keep that leg nice and straight, you only bend with the front leg. We're keeping this glutes engaged, we're engaging that lower back some. You're getting the quad a little bit on that knee that bends. And release. Nice. All right, guys, that was round 5. I have one more round for you guys, and we have to hit the floor for that. So we'll see you guys there. All right, guys, we're on the floor now. Technically, there are 2 more Tabata rounds because we're going to do the left and then the right, just like in the beginning. So to begin, come about halfway up on the tubes with your hands, just for some tension. That knee's going to come all the way back toward the chest, and then release. The release, now this one's different. You're pushing outward. That's where all the tension is. The release is when the knee comes all the way back. So you maintain that intensity. It's 1, 2, come back for 2. The release is when the knee comes back. Maintain that intensity all the way through. And again, we're just using the arms to give us some retention in this tube. We are not working the arms at all. Just let those arms hang there. Just hold nice and tight. Don't let the leg bring those arms with you. Just let those arms be dead weight. And release. All right, this time we're going to come up slightly. Right leg comes down. We're going to push ourselves up. The only thing that should be down right now is the right foot, our neck and shoulders. This time we're going to bring the knee out to the side more. We're going to pull that knee down and then push up nice and straight. Again, the release is when the knee comes all the way down toward the shoulder, and then we push all the way back up. And get that leg as straight as you can all the way up. You should feel it from that glute through the lower back, all the way up into those calf muscles and into the tippy toes. We want a good, full, deep stretch. You're going to feel it in that lower back a little bit too as we hold ourselves up off the ground. And release. Okay, back down. Leg is nice and straight again. Other leg is nice and straight. Again, hold on about halfway up on the tubes. You want some good retention here. Now this time we're going to come all the way out and then swing it over and swing it back and back in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're not coming down and hitting the ground. We're keeping that leg up the whole time. So it's a nice, intense stretch into those muscles. You're going to really feel it in those inner thighs, the quads. And as you come all the way over and stretch, you're going to feel it in that glute just a little. and slow. This is not a race. That's why I say we do this on a 2 count. And release. Awesome. And then we will move on to the right leg and we will be finished. Good, we are almost there. So close. Alright. So again, we're pushing straight out. Get that leg nice and straight. Maintain the intensity into that muscle group until that knee comes all the way back. That is your release when the knee comes back. Release. Beautiful. Alright, this time we're coming up, just like before. Right foot comes down, we're raising that rear end off the ground. The only thing that should be on the floor right now is right foot and our neck and shoulders. Knee is coming as far out to the side as we can. That is our release. We push all the way up. Leg is nice and straight as we come all the way up and back down. You really want to feel it all through here. Nice deep stretch. Nice and slow and a nice 2 count. Up for 2, down for 2. Get as deep as you can on your way back down as well. Bring that knee, try and bring it like towards the floor without pushing that leg out sideways. And then nice and straight, completely straight as we go all the way up. And release. Awesome. Alright. Right leg is on the ground nice and straight again. Hold on about the same place on those tubes. We want a nice resistance. And again, leg stays up the whole time. We do not hit the floor until we finish this exercise. So it stays up. We come all the way out. We come over, and back around. And that's on a 2 count. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Do not let that leg hit the floor. Keep it up the whole time. Dig deep, guys, almost there. And release. Nice, very nice. We're doing so good today. We just got 2 more sets on the right leg and we are done. So let's dig deep, let's persevere, let's get it done. Alright, again, we're holding about halfway up on the tubes for that resistance. Knee comes straight back, we push forward. Again, when the knee comes all the way back toward the shoulder, that is your release. Until then, you maintain the intensity throughout the workout. Nice, alright. Again, just like on the other side, right leg comes down. We lift those hips up off the ground. Only thing that should be down right now is the left foot, our neck and shoulders. Again, that intensity in those tubes. We push all the way up, leg is nice and straight. We come down, bring that knee down as far as you can, out to the side of that shoulder. But do not kick that leg out to the side. Just bring that knee down and over, and then push back up. Nice 2 count. Maintain that intensity until the knee comes all the way down. Straighten that leg out as best you can. You really want to feel it all the way down the entire leg for a nice deep stretch. release. All right. Left leg is straight again. Again, we're on that 2 count. And the right leg stays up the entire time. Do not let it hit the floor. We come over on the 2 count. It's 1, 2, over, 3, 4, back over, 5, 6, and then back over again, 7, 8. Repeat. Nice and slow, nice 2 count. Keep that leg nice and straight. Maintain the intensity of this muscle groups throughout the entire stretch. You can release when you come back in, but do not let that foot hit the floor. We're going to keep those muscles nice and tight. Almost there, guys. Dig deep. Breathe deep. And one more. And release. Nice. All right. Last set and we are finished. We are so close. All right. Again, knee comes back. We push forward nice and straight. Knee comes back. Push forward. We're not going like up and over. It's just nice and straight. Let that knee just naturally find its way back toward the shoulder. And that's when you release. Until then, you maintain the intensity in that stretch. Yes, your quad should be screaming now, but it'll be worth it when you get on that scale where you measure yourself. That's exactly what we want here. We want to get in shape, we want to get fit, we want to get healthy, we want to look our best. Alright, we're coming up again off the ground. We just went that left foot down, our neck and shoulders. That knee comes in, down and toward to the side of the shoulder. And then we push up nice and straight. If you need to release the tension in the tubes a little bit to get that leg nice and straight, that's fine, because that's the most important part of this exercise here, is that leg is nice and straight as it comes all the way up. You should feel it from your tippy toes all the way down through here. This is a total leg workout. You're also getting that lower back in there as we extend that booty up from the ground. Again, nice and slow on a nice 2 count. Do not release the tension until the knee comes down toward the shoulder. And release. Nice. Guys, this is our last exercise. So give it all you got. Dig deep. Give every last ounce you have. This is the time to do it. Alright, so we come straight out again. Hold about halfway down on the tubes for intensity. Do not let that heel hit the floor. We're staying about a couple inches off the ground. And again, it's that 2 count. Out for 2, over for 2, back for 2, and then back in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, just nice and slow, really focus on the intensity of that stretch. Keep that leg up off the ground. Keep that intensity until you come all the way back around again and click those heels together. Guys, release. Guys, we did it. Alright, I'm going to stand myself back up. We're going to stretch out a little bit and we will be finished. Guys, just stretch it out here. We're going to take it back some. Alright guys, we did it. We really gave it our all. And we're gonna stretch it out a little bit. It's always good to stretch out at the end of the workout so you don't wake up with that fatigue the next day. You want good fatigue, not bad fatigue. Alright, so we're just gonna start out with a quad stretch here. We're gonna grab onto that ankle. Left arm comes out to the side for balance if need be. We're just gonna hold that here. Lean forward just slightly. And back up. And release. Other side. Lean forward just slightly. And back up. And release. Nice. Alright, now we're gonna step that out to a wide stance. Come down to the side. We're gonna turn forward, face that arm toward the wall. And back around and up. And then the other side. Turn. Back forward and up. Now we're gonna take it real deep. Deep side lunge. Hands at the hip. Just kind of pulse into that a little bit. And back up. Other side. Pulse into that just a little bit. And back up. Alright. Bring those knees in slightly. We're going to come down into a nice squat. As we come up, we're going to arch that back and roll those shoulders. We did work the arms just slightly as we used them to hold that retention. So we do want to kind of just round those out a little bit again. Round that shoulder this time. Rolling the shoulders the opposite direction. Alright, one leg stretch. Cross that ankle over the knee. Dip it low. Press this knee toward the floor as we come down into that stretch, nice and deep, and back up. Other side. If you have to hold your arms out to the side for balance, that's fine. I do sometimes. Nice deep. If you can, really push down on that, get nice and deep, and then come back up. Nice wide stance. Big deep breath, get low. Hold that air in, and slowly release as we come down. Guys, that is it, Tabata legs. As always, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and until next time.